My grandfather once told me that we're half Indian, but he never told me which half. Anyhow, I'm going to show you a story about some people who were Indians in both halves. That doesn't seem to make any sense. Well, let's just watch the picture.
The Pueblo Indians are direct descendants of the basket makers who were known as a planting tribe. They farmed and cultivated the lands of our great Southwest so efficiently that their storage pits were well stocked with corn, beans, and cotton. Turquoise was highly prized by the Pueblo Indians, and they turned it into magnificent pieces of priceless jewelry. This great hoard of food and gems lured roving bands of enemy raiders who robbed and pillaged their homes and storerooms. Eventually, these nomadic raiders forced the Pueblo Indians to abandon their homes in search of safer surroundings. For protection, they built their new homes on the summit of steep-walled mesas. To build their new homes, all the materials, such as logs, stones, and soil, and water for drinking and building purposes, had to be carried from the valley up to the top of the mesas. Now, if raiders tried to steal their belongings, the Pueblo Indians pulled up their ladders, and a hail of arrows and stones from above greeted the invaders. Finally, the raids ceased, and the Pueblo Indians enjoyed a long period of peace. They added to their homes until some of the buildings had as many as 800 rooms and housed well over 1,000 people. Actually, they were the first apartment houses to be built in America. In this land of little rain, all the forces of nature and the supernatural were called upon to make the crops abundant. Therefore, the rain dance was one of their most important ceremonial rites. First, the Indians went out and collected snakes. They were put into large jars and carried back to the snake kiva. Most of the snakes were highly poisonous. On the day of the rain dance, men, women, and children gathered to watch this impressive ceremony. Only members of the Snake Society performed this dance, and although they were taught how to handle poisonous snakes, it was still very dangerous to do so. Many times, there were over 100 snakes in the arena, and sometimes the dance went on for many hours until all the snakes were danced with. After the ceremonies, the snakes were carried back to the desert, where they were blessed and released to carry to the four corners of the earth the message of the renewal of all life. Pueblo parents showed their children the secrets of growing and preparing the foods needed for survival. They also taught their children the beauties of arts and crafts and made the children aware and proud of their great heritage.
Wow, if I had to bite snakes to make it rain, we'd be in for a long, dry spell. Ooh. Grandpa, someday I'll have to invent a dance to get rid of trick-playing, fun-loving grandfathers.